But we're going to jump straight into it. This is pre-edit, so it doesn't really matter if I fuck up. But we're going to do the top 4 fights on UFC 323 starring. Let me click over to my main fight sheet here. Merab Dvalishvili, the champion currently at the bantamweight division, against the number 3 contender Peter Yan from Russia. Peter Yan, I would say I'd have to give the significant striking advantage to. He's definitely sharper on the feet. However, if you run it back to the last time these guys went at it, which was, I believe, just over a year, no, about 2 years ago now, Merab totally dominated. He stood with him and banged on the feet when he needed to, but then he level changed and he took it back down where he was comfortable, pretty much at his will. And I don't feel like he's going to have any issue doing that again. So I would say not to overthink the main card too much. I don't think it's going to be something that turns up shorter than the 5 rounds that are estimated. The championship rounds, I think they're going to go all 5. I think it's going to be a undisputed, significantly Merab leaning decision, whether that's unanimous or split. Who's to say? I mean, I'd like to see Peter Yan put out a little bit more of an output this time around and have a little bit more success on the feet, just for a better fight all around. But when we're talking money, I think your safe bet is going to be on Merab. Woo! And still, now going back to another championship fight, we're gonna click down to Alexander Pen. I should have done this the first time, guys. I'm sorry, this is my first time. But the full breakdown, we got Alexander Pantoja, who is the current champion at flyweight, going up against a 23, 22. I forget how old he exactly is. I think he might be 24. Between that age, young, early 20-year-old Joshua Van, who is a monster, dude. This guy's got some straight dynamite for hands. He's knocked out some of the greats already early in his career. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, for the money line, I don't think Pantoja's faulting. I mean, he's had a Pantoja era for the last several years now, and he's pretty much ran through the division. He's the top dog, and I don't see him going anywhere currently. With that being said, I think this is one that you could hedge. I mean, as far as the betting odds go, you could definitely sprinkle some on a Joshua Van knockout. It could happen. It really could. I will say that Pantoja is a little bit unconventional on the feet when you really think about it, but he's just an elite specimen when it comes to grappling. His submission game is out of this world. He tends to find the back and find the rear naked choke often. I actually think that's how this fight is going to go. I think he's going to end up getting the victory via submission, if I had to say so. But if you wanted to sprinkle some money out on there for your best odds, I would do Pantoja. We would do an alternative method of victory: Pantoja submission and Joshua Van knockout is what I would do. So that's the co-main event, going down to Brandon Moreno versus Tatsuro Taira. Everybody's so big on Tatsuro, man. I'm being serious. I don't know if it's just they watch too much Demon Slayer and this guy reminds them of the main character or what. But I know he's a dog. He's 17-1, but he's going up against one of the, I think, most underrated fighters in the game, Brandon Moreno. He's durable. He's tough. I don't think I know for a fact he's never been finished by knockout. He's never been KO'd. But I would almost go out and say, I want to say that he's never been finished, like, period. Which is absolutely crazy. There's so much to say just about that statistic alone. He's 23-8, going against 17-1 with Tatsuro Taira, fighting out of Japan. But there's one phrase that I always go back to, and that phrase is "Si se puede." Ever since Brandon Moreno got his first chance at the championship belt, dude, it's just been moving. His whole story has been super, super moving ever since he came into the UFC. So I might say that I'm a little bit biased on this one, but I'm going to go hard Brandon Moreno money line. I think it's going to come from a decision, but just play it safe and put it on Moreno. Lastly, going up to the last but not least, the main card that I want to talk about, because everything else I've got some money on, but I'm going to start doing a premium channel where you guys can see all of my bets, all of my parlays, and the reasoning behind them. This is kind of just like a quick deep dive into my top 4 choices, just to give you guys a little bit of tidbit of what I kind of put my money on. But with this one, we're going to go the straight up Unk Henry Cejudo at 38 years old, going up against Peyton Talbot, Frank Ocean's boyfriend. I hated on that. I did hate on Peyton Talbot for trying to be like getting clout from social media and like famous people. I thought that was kind of weird. But I'm not gonna hate on his skills, man. His last fight, I put money against him, and he shut me up. So don't think I'm gonna make the same mistake again. I know Henry Cejudo was a Olympic wrestler. Like he's got gold on his belt even before the UFC. So like you gotta give something to that. But at 38 years old, at his stature, 5'4" against 5'10", that's a 6-inch height advantage with another 6.5-inch reach advantage for Talbot. I think he's gonna piece him apart, man. I know Henry Cejudo was a dog on the ground, but with that much of a height and reach advantage, I just think it's gonna be really hard for him to take it to where he wants to get it, which is the ground. I think he's gonna get pieced apart, and I think that maybe like a knee or an elbow in the clinch might be what does it for Peyton Talbot to bring home the KO victory. So KO or decision is what I would go ahead and play it safe on, but I'm going to go ahead and put on a straight KO Peyton Talbot against Henry Cejudo. So those are my picks. Lock in, guys, and we'll see you next time.